What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Clover Trading YouTube video. You got Kyle here. My name is Dom. We are two-thirds of Clover Trading. And today we like to take a look at the top watches going into the next week. We just wrapped up April. We have 2 days of May under our belt, and the market seems to be picking up steam. The overall market continues to chug along and eat into those deficits that it incurred over the past couple of months. The small cap market is starting to get more volume, more plays. We had some really nice breakouts this week. Some stocks that went on multi-day runs. We had some themes playing out with some similar catalysts involving crypto. So the market here in small cap land seems to be picking up. And we're going to talk about our top watches going into the new week. Make sure if you are not already that you subscribe to the channel. We are on a mission to get to 7,000 subscribers. And hit that thumbs up button as well. Leave a comment if this is something you like and you're interested in. And as always, we're live every single day. The market is open for Good Morning NASDAQ and on Wednesday nights for Wine Wednesday. So be sure to check those out as well. How we doing, Kyle?
Doing good. Ready to rock and roll. I haven't really done my watch list yet, obviously, but just from the charts I have up, there seems like I was gonna say a lot, not a lot, but there's a lot moving. There's a lot to look forward to going into next week. So I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and it's I kind of your hesitation. I can kind of feel that as well. You don't ever want to get excited because then you feel like you can get let down by the markets.
Yeah.
But over the past few weeks, there's like especially the last 2 weeks of April, there was just not a lot of stocks on my watch list every single night. Like, we had a lot of third eye watches, a lot of we need another day of run before we want to short it. We need more volume if it's going to break out. There was a lot of if, ands, or buts before a play could happen. And right now, like I already know that my watch list going into next week from Monday is going to have quite a few tickers on it. Probably will be in some plays still going into Monday from this Friday. And we can get right into that. Some of the top stocks that ran over the past week that I am still watching for a bounce back will be WW, your Weight Watchers, or I believe it has a different name now, but it has continued to distance itself off the highs after going on a 4 day move from the 12 cent area all the way up over $1. So on its second red day now, the more that pulls back, the better. We'll be looking at that one Monday morning for some sort of reversal, as well as NVNI. Very similar style daily chart. This one was really clean run from the 15 cent area all the way up to almost 80 cents and ended up going red yet on Thursday and has not gone green on Friday as well. So I'll be watching that one for another reversal as well. And we still have KIDZ, KIDZ, which is still running here
Wow,
on
this came back.
Friday. This was, that theme that is playing off of JNVR, CEP, where we see you could probably explain it better, but these stocks that are moving money into some sort of crypto, Solana, Bitcoin, and this is just another one on a pretty clean daily chart that got some attention on Thursday. Really ripped some faces, went from the ones to as high as I think the tens or 11s. I don't know, in after hours or pre-market, but opened this morning, pulled back, and is strong again. And if you want to elaborate more on that one, you're probably more interested in that for a first red day. But just another example of we're getting some volume, we're getting some extension on some daily charts now.
Yeah, and I'll touch on kids really quick here. So it's a little bit different. So SEP, I guess my first watch will be SEP, but SEP is, I lost again on it short today, thinking that a red day was due. And sure, there's a red candle here, but it's not even close to red green. We had one small red green move here on the 28th of April. Didn't really go anywhere and actually then ended up breaking out. And so I'm a bit 50-50 on what it does going into this week, whether we are holding so well that we're not done yet and we're going to, break 60 and go to 70, 80, 90, who knows, or if this is just some awkward, choppy inside day and eventually we actually start to roll over. I really have no idea. My read on this, anything but on the long side, has been pretty bad. Now, I haven't made any good money on the long side. Unfortunately, I really screwed up this breakout, but I've royally screwed up the short just because there's never been any good short opportunities on this. And every time I've tried, I have just failed miserably with the wrong trade plan, the wrong sizing, etc. So, but there, them here, they're purchasing Bitcoin, which is the most legit one because they're trying to pretty much replicate MSTR or be a competitor to what MSTR does. And so this one long term, if I had to guess, I think SEP's going to be pretty darn successful at it. The only thing is that they're just very overvalued into what Bitcoin they own now. So like I do think it has to base, but that's a whole other topic in theory. So not really going to do much with it. Maybe I'm definitely more open to buying another breakout than shorting. Shorting it, I think I have to blacklist it at this point just because I've failed so many times. But I will obviously keep it on watch because it is a big daily chart in the space we're watching. But that brings us to like the JNVRs, right? The other one was UPXI, and now KDIZ. These three are a little bit different because they are buying a different coin than Bitcoin. They're buying Solana. Now, I'm not here to judge or guess which cryptos will succeed and which won't, but Solana is, behind Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is like the daddy of it all, and Solana is just another like blue chip in the space. And so I get why these have run. In fact, I actually longed KIDZ and sold it way too early. It's actually insane that it's at nines, but I've stayed away from these like the plague short wise because I think cryptos are just bullish news in general, especially when we're in a bull run. But even now, when I look at KIDZ, if this was any normal daily chart, I 100% should be short biased. But I'm just not, and it doesn't mean I'm long biased. I don't think this necessarily goes up a ton. Who knows how much it goes up. But if you look at JNVR, right, which yes, there are some red days here, but the liquidity has gotten pretty bad. To the point where like any predictability here I have not had. And then even UPXI, a bunch of big wicks. And yeah, again, there's some red days here, but the liquidity is bad. It's very choppy. It's all over the place. I don't really have a good read. Now, I would say KIDZ is the best looking. It has had the really 2 awesome days in a row. So there's a chance and a likelihood there is some kind of pullback, but I am very hesitant to do so just because like if it's anything how SEP has gone, me shorting crypto stocks is just never been a good thing, at least ones that are legitimate, like Sol, etc. There was one FRGT. They're buying Trump coin, which, again, I think that's pretty self-explanatory why this one wouldn't succeed, because if you're buying a meme coin, that's a massive difference between something like a Solana or a Bitcoin. So this one did not succeed. So that's not a shock to me there. But when, long story short, I don't really know what I want to do with it yet. I am leaning towards not touching it at all just because of that risk and because of my history with shorting these or even trying to. So I'd rather give up missing out on the gain than taking the trade and losing more than I want, or just losing in general because I know it's very likely for me. So we'll see. But that one's that there. Some other trades I'm watching is I am actually long currently Tesla. I do think this breakout of, call it the mid 290s, is underway. Now, it doesn't it doesn't have to happen today by any means, but I do think this is just primed in a good base and now kind of setting now this really significant higher high in 270s to possibly get a move into the 300s. And then, this is more of a swing trade for me. So if we can, wait a week or two and get a move to 310, 320, 330, I'd be a very big fan. But again, the setup hasn't technically confirmed yet. It still has to get over this 290 5 level pretty much. And so I could theoretically be early, but I just like how this daily chart's forming. And I traded it pretty well on this kind of panic out long here, all up in here throughout all of March. And so I want to keep that maybe good read rolling and see if we can get another move to the upside. There's another one I know Dom and I are both watching, Pony. We will see how well this breakout actually does. So far, it is a fake out. But technically, as we're recording this, there is still some time left in the day. So there's a world this is a breakout still. And honestly, and I hate to say it, I probably won't be long if it doesn't break out. But part of me does think, even if it doesn't technically break out, this is proven to be such a good trend. Like when it's in running or when it is running, there is sometimes such a good trend going on it that part of me thinks that regardless, it might still actually have a green day tomorrow. And again, or on Monday. Again, that's very anticipatory. That is not something I'm taking to the bank. That's not even something I'm going to trade off of, really. But it is a thought in my brain that I am having. So I am open to whether this breakouts or not. I would go into Monday being somewhat bullish. I'm not thinking if this is a fake out that this is going to fade back to 9 or 8 or wherever, right? So I am interested to see how this forms up. I don't know if you have any other different thoughts, Dom, but I do just like this chart, how it's set up so far for a move higher in general. So
Yeah, this is, I don't think your typical small cap breakout. I don't know what the float is on it. Let me look.
I think
Float.
it's
I
fairly
don't even have market
larger,
cap
not
is
huge, but
2.6 billion. Um, but so I would treat it more the way I was planning to treat HTZ and kind of similar. Pony kind of ripped so hard into the breakout level this morning that I think it would have been very difficult for it to have held like all day so far. Like I'm not going to look at this for a lot of the reasons that you said. Just as like it has to hold the breakout level, just because if it is a sideways day above VWAP into the close, I think that's actually, right now in the top third of today's range, that would actually be more impressive than just needing to hold some arbitrary number that I believe it technically has to uh, to hold up and work. I agree. I think it has a good history of multi-day runs, so I would be looking for that. I've slowly built into a position in the afternoon, but still, the only real risk level I have is the 980s area all the way down from the morning. So until the afternoon, we get some perk or we just prove sideways and then open up higher on Monday. Don't really want to get too aggressive on it, but kind of have a similar thought to you that if it's going to work, it's going to be a 2 or 3 day move. And so no rush for me to kind of get super aggressive right out of the gate here after such a strong morning that it is going to have to digest and prove that it can hold. And on the CEP example that you brought up, that's something I will be watching going to next week as well. I don't dive too much into the fundamentals, but if this were a situation where it wants to re-break out over the highs from Thursday, I would be happy to be there for that. We saw in the last run that it had a similar candles today. It was a green candle, not a red one, where it kind of stays inside the wick of the previous day of the run, which did set the breakout level before. And then it still took 2 or 3 more days to try to hold up and break out. There's no guarantee. This could lead to more fade. It could never test those highs again anytime soon. But this video, the purpose is just to have the stocks on watch that could make moves next week. And this is one that I will be having an eye on going into the next week.
yeah.
You want to hit the other gappers from today and then close it out?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much other. I mean, besides, well, actually, none of the gappers. I mean, all of them are kind of down a little bit. One thing. Oh, so all right. Before we move on, though, one thing I say on CEP is, as you were talking there, Dom, and I hate to say this because this is not going to be something that I convince myself to get short for, but this is something that I am watching and want to learn, which is it has technically never broke the previous day's low.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It is held that in this entire time. And so I'm not necessarily saying that's a perfect trend break because clearly there's a bigger trend here than just that. Right. Obviously it's done a little bit of everything in between consolidating, running huge, etc. But it does intrigue me of like, if there's something that's going to finally kind of kill the momentum here, if it's that, right. Again, not necessarily saying I would take a trade off it, but I am very interested just to see if, like, again, this overvaluation to how much Bitcoin it owns, does it finally fall apart a little bit once it breaks, or makes a lower low in the sense of just a new previous day's low from a particular, daily chart. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, I'll mention the usuals I always mention. Mullen. Still waiting for a spike. I said it on, I don't know if it was Wine Wednesday or somewhere in the room or a webinar. I almost sound like when I say this, I sound like a bag holder, as if like I am long and I'm waiting for a spike to get out. I'm not that, right? I don't own this long. I'm actually looking forward to short. And again, I want to short a bounce. I'm just praying they do bounce it. And so far yet, they have yet to do it, which saddens me. I'm confident they'll do it. But again, there's no risk on the table for me if they don't do it, right? So it's a little bit different than bag holding. If I was bag holding, there's significant risk that they don't do it. It goes 90% lower, and I'm now 90% down in my position more. So there's no risk if I never trade it, but I really wanted to get short again, and obviously I'm just not going to do it chasing it down this much. But if it can bounce 50, 100%, like I would love to try to get in there and find a trade there for it. So there's that. There's also Fannie Mae, again, still sideways, nothing to do, nothing to see. But I have a chart above it. I've had a chart above this thing every single day since the beginning of the year. So we are just always keeping our eye on this, or keeping our pulse on this ticker, just in case, if and whenever this starts to want to push these highs. And so far, just trading very nice and sideways in the sixes. So that's really all I have on watch. I don't know if you have anything to add, Dom. But any of the gappers today are not going to be on watches for me Monday because that's what they are. They're just gappers. And they usually are one and done. So,
Yeah, not much more to add. Plenty amount of stocks to keep a third eye on at least. Probably some plays going into Monday. Um, but we shall see. The market feels good right now. It feels like there's lots of volume here. We have a lot of momentum right now. Just hoping that sticks around for a bit and some of these plays come into our wheelhouse and allow us to take advantage of them.
there you go. Beautiful. Well, all right, everybody, get prepared for next week, and we will either see you in the room or see you on Good Morning Aztec. And again, the more prepared you are, the better chance you have of profiting, like we all want to do. And without further ado, see you, everybody. Bye.